Hello everyone, we will continue the topic OData and we are covering OData service creation steps. And as a part of that, we created the project, we created the data model, we generated the runtime artifacts, we implemented the service, and we registered the service. Whenever we register the service, that is considered as a final step in OData service creation. Now we need to test our service. We need to execute our service. Now, because whatever the OData service we created, we need to check it is working fine or not. We need to test our OData service. Now, into this particular video, we will learn how to execute, how to test our OData service. Now, if I will simply go for the slide, how to go for testing of our OData service. Once all the service creation steps has been done, at the last, we need to execute or we need to test our OData service. Now, to execute or to test our OData service, SAP provided a dedicated tool. And what is that tool? That tool is SAP Gateway Client, one of the most important tool whenever you are appearing for an interview on OData. Maximum time interviewer asks the question, you created the OData service, then which particular tool you used to test your OData service, which particular tool you used to execute your OData service, which tool you used to troubleshoot your OData service. So the answer is SAP Gateway Client. So we have a dedicated tool which is given by SAP to test and debug the OData service. If some error is there, we need to debug, yes. So at that time, this particular tool will help us to find the errors also. There are so many benefits of this SAP Gateway Client. It's a dedicated tool itself. You can simulate your service behavior. Yes, you can simulate your service behavior because your OData service will be used by the front end. Before it will be used by the front end, you can check it is working fine or not. You can test your request, you can test your response, and the most important thing is you can do the troubleshooting of your issues before the service is used by front end applications, because at the last that OData service will be consumed, it will be consumed by your front end. But before that, you need to do the full-fledged testing. So which particular tool will help you to do the testing? The answer is SAP Gateway Client. Extremely important and useful tool. In this particular video, now I will let you know how we can use this particular tool to test and debug our OData service. Now, what I will do, I will simply go for the transaction code. You all know this is the transaction code /IWFND/MAINT_service. This is the particular transaction code to activate and maintain the services. And I told you we can do lots of things with the help of this particular transaction code. Now, I will simply go to filter because we already register our service. I will pass our service name, technical service name, that is project_SRV. And you can see we are able to see a dedicated tool, SAP Gateway Client. So I will simply click onto this particular button. So it will just take me to a separate transaction code. Now you can see I clicked on SAP Gateway Client, and you can see it is SAP Gateway Client. It's a dedicated tool to test and execute your OData services. Just see, you can understand in a full flash manner. This is your project. This is your project. Now, what I will do, I'm simply going for entity set. You all know what is entity set. It is just like a internal table. Yes, when you created the data model at that time, I fully explained entity set. Entity set is just like a internal table. Suppose we are going for which particular operation? Get. Yes, because we are getting the data. Yes. So if I will simply go to entity set, now you can see sales order set is automatically coming. Just check your OData service in SCGW transaction code. You will understand fully. Suppose if I will go to SEGW transaction code. Now, if I will go to my project, if I will go to data model, what is the name of entity set? Sales order set. Now I will simply select. Now you can see we have the sales order set entity. This entity set is coming here. Yes. So we are going for which particular method? Get. Because in our current scenario, we need to get the data from VBAK table. And we are not going for single entry. We are going for multiple entries. So I am simply going for entity set. Now, if you see in the slide I covered, we can go for HTTP request. You can see HTTP request. We have HTTP response. We have HTTP response. Yes, we can troubleshoot the issues if we are finding any issues with the help of this particular tool itself. Now we will go for extremely important understanding. Now at the initial level itself, I will simply put a breakpoint into our code and we will see is it working or not working. So you all know where you have written the code. If I will go to SC24 transaction code, we have written the code in data provider extension class. If you remember, in data provider extension class, we have written the method in get entity set. Now you can relate very easily. Here we are simply choosing entity set. And what is the name of entity set? Sales order set. We are going for which method? Get. Now here we have written the code. Now I'm putting a breakpoint here. Suppose I'm putting a session breakpoint. And so many people at the first level, they will put the session breakpoint. Now suppose I'm simply going for execute. Just at the initial level we covered, this tool helps us to execute our OData service. We can test our OData service. Suppose I'm clicking on to execute button. We are going for get method. Now, so many people will say now, I have put a breakpoint, but why it is not entering into debugging mode? Yes, we got the error. That's a different thing. But why system did not enter into that debugging mode? Never go for session breakpoint. You need to put external breakpoint. If you want a detailed understanding on external breakpoint, just refer to the video of external breakpoint in debugging playlist. Please put the external breakpoint if you want to debug your code using this particular tool. Now I'm putting a breakpoint. This is external breakpoint. Now this is external breakpoint. Yes. Now I have set the breakpoint in get entity set method of data provider extension class. We are going for get method. Yes. So system will stop there because in the backend, yes, we have this particular code will execute. Now, whenever I will execute, now it will stop in that debugging mode. Now system will enter into the debugging mode. We'll see. It will stop there. It will stop on the code. I'll just wait. I think system is slow. Yes. Now have you seen? System stopped there. Now this particular code will execute. Now if I will do F6, now you can see into this internal table, we have 2124 records. Now this is our request. Now you can see this is our request. Now whenever I will execute, now you can see I am getting a error. I sent a request, but in the response, HTTP response, I am getting a error. Now that select query is working fine. I got 2124 records, but why I got the error? I will simply check the error log. And we discussed, yes, what is the purpose of this particular tool? It helps us to troubleshoot the issues. Yes. Now, if you see this error, it is saying the column ER has invalid value, these 8 zeros. It means it is not our fault ideally. There is some junk data in the table where ER date has 8 zeros. I will check. Suppose if I will show you how we will troubleshoot. Suppose I will simply go for execute again. I will go for execution again. Anyways, it's not our fault, it's data fault, but we need to just get the output. Yes, I'm executing again. But in real project, there is no junk data because date is never blank because it's a demo system. So we have junk data. Now system will stop and we will see. Do we have a value 8 zeros for the ER dat column? Now I'm executing this query. I will check into this internal table. Now, if I will simply find, this is ER dat column, Control F. Suppose I am passing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can see we have the records where date is 0, 0, 0, 0. And date can never be blank. Whenever you are creating a sales order, date is never blank. And because of this junk data, our OData service is getting failed. So what I will do at this point of time, I will simply write an additional line of code so that our issue will resolve. Anyways, it's a junk data. In real projects, there will not be any junk data. So what I will write, I will simply write a statement, delete. What is the name of internal table? This is the name of internal table. Where ER dat, and you can understand just we are troubleshooting the issues. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just see if you do not have a SAP gateway client tool, how you will test your OData service. That OData service will be simply consumed by front end, and on the front end we have 0, 0, 0, 0. It will be failed there. Yes. Now I will simply go for activation. External breakpoint is there, and we will see. And this is just like troubleshooting and debugging. We are doing that debugging to troubleshoot the issues. And which tool is helping? SAP Gateway Client. Now, I will again go for this particular tool. If it is already opened, I will go. Yes, it's already open. I will go to execute. We'll see. Most probably it will work at this point of time. Now you can see into this internal table 2124 records. Now you can see we have 2120. It means 4 records were there where the ER dat is 0. Now if I will go to execute, now if you see again, now it is in green color. Yes. So it means our OData service executed successfully. Now at this point of time, just check the result for few because we have 2120 records. Yes. So we cannot check each and everything, but we'll see. Is it right or not? Just see. From this VBAK table, we are fetching that data of 5 columns. What are those 5 columns? VB 6 column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I will check this particular record for VBELN2, suppose if I will go to VBAK table, if it is successfully executed, if I will go to VBAK table, what is our sales order? Sales order number 2. Now you can see sales order number 2. Yes, AUART. AUART. If I will simply display, TA is OR only. Yes, OR. Date is 26/06/2023. Yes, this is the date. Then ERZET. This is our ERZET. This is the time. Yes. This is the time. Time it is simply saying 08:56:11. See, it is saying 11 seconds, 56 minutes, 08 hours. Just see, do we have, yes, 8 hours, 56 minutes, 11 seconds. Yes, because here it is giving second, minute, and hours. What is ER num, Vishal R? What is VB time? C. Now you can see we are getting the exact data. So here we have this 2120 record. Just see, we have lots of responses, lots of responses. So we have 2120 records. It means our OData service is working fine, and now it can be consumed by our front end. So what is the summary of this particular video? In this video, we covered how to test our OData service. Whenever you want to test your OData service, SAP provided a dedicated tool. What is the name of that tool? It is SAP Gateway Client. With the help of this tool, you can test and you can debug your OData service. You can simulate your OData service. Simulation means before you are handing over to front end, before it is consumed by front end, you can just check how your OData service will behave. Is it working fine or not? You can go for request. You can go for response. Yes, just we sent the request. Yes, we got the response. Yes. After that, yes, we covered. You can troubleshoot the issues. Yes, before it is used by the front end, you need to troubleshoot. You need to check, is there any error or not in the OData service? Once it is working fine, after that only, yes, it should be consumed by your front end. Now, as a part of that, how we tested our OData service, we simply went to this particular transaction code /n/iwfnd/maint_service. Whenever you will filter, you can filter your OData service. We have SAP Gateway Client. Whenever you will click there, it will take you to a separate transaction code itself. We have a dedicated tool, SAP Gateway Client. Now, in our current requirement, we are going for which particular method? Get method. Yes, because we are getting the data from VBAK table. Yes, we are going for entity set because we have multiple records. So I have passed the entity set. Now I have put the breakpoint. I set the breakpoint in get entity set method of data provider extension class. But if you are going for session breakpoint, system will not stop. You need to put external breakpoint. After that, we got the error in our OData service. Yes, that your ER dat has the value 0000. Anyways, it's not our fault because it's a faulty data itself, but I want to show you the response in green color. So at that time, what I did, I simply deleted the record where ER dat is 0, and we are able to see the response in the green color. So this is the way how you can test your OData service. Extremely important tool, because it will help you to debug your OData service. You can troubleshoot your issues with the help of this particular tool. So that's it in this video. Thank you.